Looks like we might be replacing some wheel bearings or something on this thing. We have put this thing through hell. I'm telling you, we have put it through hell. This is a MSU 500. It's a 2013 model. I've seen this thing sunk in mud. We've hit trees, snapped the winch.
Was the winch tight? Okay.
Ran into a low-hanging branch and the whole top just ripped off. We've put it through hell and it's still running pretty well, but like I said before, it needs a little help. And honestly, the wheels don't look that bad right now from the front, but as you saw earlier, I mean, they were both kind of slanted to the right. So we're gonna go ahead and start tearing this thing apart. Of course, I don't need any more projects of things to tear apart, but you know what? I have ADHD and that's kind of what we do. So let's go ahead and pull this thing into the shop and let's see if we can fix these wheels. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got under here. I need me a breaker bar. I actually got this pole from like an old basketball goal or something like that, and I kept it because I knew I was gonna need it to make a perfect breaker bar, honestly, or cheater bar, whatever you wanna call it. Hank, move.
Arrest this man at will.
There we go. I mean to take that one off yet. Want to make sure I don't advise anyone to do work in flip-flops. Keep them toes safe, people. All right, now we got those bolts loose on both sides. Let's jack this thing up a little bit. There we go. Oh, that came fast. I'm trying to go down that fast. There we go. How much you got? How much you got? Come on down. There we go. Is this off the ground? Nope. All right, we're gonna need a little bit more. Upsy daisy. Try not to pinch my freaking fingers in there. Okay, let's go ahead and get that one there. But I don't want to go ahead and let the pressure off yet because it's gonna try to come off at like a weird angle and that's not gonna be good for anybody. Go ahead and put this one. This should get us exactly what we need. There we go. All right, how stable are we? Oh, we're pretty good. All right, time for a quick stability test.
Flip, Philadelphia.
Don't want this thing falling on me when I get under it. I think it's pretty good. Nice. All right, let's get these wheels off. Okay, it's got a lot of play in it. Oh yeah, you can see. That thing is jacked, dude. This thing is jacked up. Look at this. So, got this wheel off. So you can look at this hub here. And this thing is bent. It's kind of odd, but I don't feel like it should have this much play in it. But then when I started looking, look at the actual bearings. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like the outer race has came like dislodged. Probably help if you guys had some light, right? Just like that. Shines right where I want it to. I don't know if you can see that, but this race, this outer race, has came dislodged. So we're gonna need to pop those off and see what we can do with. You guys can probably already tell I have not read the manual. I probably should, like always. However, we're just gonna try to YOLO this thing here, which looks like if I take off this castellated nut and this cotter pin, this thing may just pop right off. I may have to pull off the brake caliper in order to get that on there, but it's not going to be too involved of a project, so. It's not going to be too involved. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys how to get that off. Alrighty. Let's pull out this little cotter pin. That didn't do a whole lot of anything. Let's see here. There we go. Castellated nut. It is nice and tight. All right, time for some TB blaster. Maybe blowtorch. PB Blaster! Oh, it's still trying to slip. Okay, let's see if we got a nut this big, or socket this big. And, nope. And, it's just a little too big. This is a 1 5/16. All right, folks, got this thing. It's actually 1 1/4 inches. Took me a while, but I found it. So let's go ahead, get this cheater bar on here. See if we can get this thing broke. There we go. I guess while we're here, might as well do the other side. Let's get this off. There we go. Just like on the other one, pop this cotter pin out. Little duckbill pliers. Finally, jeez. All right, PB Blaster again. All right, so we're going left. Come on. Ah, did I break the wrench or the socket? Oh, did I break the ratchet? Oh, dang it. I know, I should have used that in the first place. But I wasn't expecting it to break the 1/2 inch wrench or ratcheting wrench, but it did. So, breaker bar will save you $50 from breaking a 1/2 inch wrench. Daggone. That thing was on there. Beautiful. Will this come off, or am I gonna have to take the caliper off? There we go. Just a couple caliper bolts. One right here, one on the other side. It is a 13. Crap. All these bolts are tight as shit. PB Blaster for the win again. Oops, sorry, camera. There we go. Let's grab this other one. Oh yeah. Easy. All right. Okay, so that's what we got going on. And what do you guys think? You think that's kind of jacked up or what? So that thing is ate up and mangled. I think the splines are okay. They appear that they're okay. There's the bearing. Not exactly sure if we're gonna need to take a look at anything in there. We need to fix this. In order to fix this, we have to pull this off. In order to pull this off, I need to take off this castellated nut at the bottom, and then that would allow both pins to come up. This pin to come up, that pin to come down. No, that pin has to come up too. There's some of the ball bearings left, some of them are deformed. I'm gonna have to go ahead and take these linkages off, and then should be able to pull this whole hub off, and then go ahead and get those bearings and replace them. Do the same thing for the other side. Nice. There we go. There it is. That one off, just like that. Put that to the side. Should be able to get this one off too. Why is this not coming off yet? None washer. Now, there we go. This thing should just come off. Hey, we got it. There it is. That's why you should always have a torch in your toolbox. Take this brake line off. There we go. It's got kind of shards of metal in it too. It's not gonna be very good. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to probably replace this as well. But that's okay, we've already got this apart, so that's the hard work. Now, repeat on the other side. Honestly, after taking a look at this thing, it's pretty solid. This boot is still completely intact. There's a little bit of scraping on this disc, but it's probably because these caliper is loose. It's pretty loose, but it's making contact with this disc in certain spots, or the rotor, which that doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. But overall, there's not a lot of play. It's a little bit, but there probably should be some because I have the castellated nut off. I think that bearing's okay. So I'm not gonna keep working on this side. I'm gonna focus on the other side and go ahead and get those parts on order and put it back together.
One eternity later.
Holy crap, it took forever for this stuff to come in. I've got some bearings here for this thing. I think it's been maybe like 3 weeks since I started taking this thing apart. But we ended up having to cancel the original axle, and I got one off of eBay, which it's going to work, hopefully. I guess we need to go ahead and just pull this axle out and get to fixing this thing because I need it out of my shop. All right, now I need to get this axle out. I don't have a slide hammer, so I'm gonna try just to pull on it a few times, see how stuck this thing is. It's pretty tight. Oh God. I guess I didn't need a slide hammer after all. That thing popped out. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Got a snap ring or something right here. So we'll double check that on the new one, but I am really surprised at how easy that came out. So originally I ordered this part from, I think it's called High Sun Parts Central or something like that. They were not able to get this to me because they said that they were out of stock and they were not told when they would get a shipment. And I think it was like not until the end of June that they were going to get in a shipment. So ended up getting just the bearings and race from them, and instead grabbed this CV joint axle from eBay. So I'll put the link in the description below of the actual part number that you guys need for the replacement. But hopefully this is an OEM.
Come up with that?
Or as close to OEM as possible. So before we go through all the trouble of putting this in, let's take a look at it side by side here. Make sure. Dimensionally, it looks very accurate. I don't see anything that looks wrong, at least not on that end. This end looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna stick this thing in.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
Go ahead and throw that old one right there. Gonna get a little bit of grease to just lube this before we stick it in.
Don't you dare say it.
All right. I just put a little oil on there, just so that way it'd make it a little easier. Hopefully there's no issues. Kind of slowly rotating it to see if I can feel when those splines engage. Once I feel it, see if we can kind of just tap it into place. So that feels roughly the right spot. Something right there maybe. See if I can tap on this. You want to make sure that you're not damaging the threads. There it is. Once you get those splines lined up, it shouldn't take much force. If you feel yourself really hammering on it,
That's what she said, that's what she said.
you need to probably pull that back out, maybe put a little oil or something on the end of the splines like I did, and then slowly turn it just a hair, and you'll feel those kind of splines roll over top of each other and then go to the next groove, and that's where you want it. So that feels good to me. I'm gonna give it a couple more taps to make sure it's fully seated. All right, I think we're good. All right, so before we get started, this is the box with the bearing. And we have our bearing here, which is a double row bearing. It's a sealed bearing, so you're not gonna need to pack it with any grease or anything like that. And we have our two seals, our inner and our outer seal. And that's gonna keep that bearing nice and protected. All right, so at a minimum, we need to get the rest of this bearing out in here, which is, I believe, like an inner race or something. But we're gonna go ahead and grab a punch and start tapping that out. You really want probably more of a square head. I'm gonna try this first and see how it goes. And maybe I will resort back to a different style. Don't have a press, but if I did have a press, I'm frustrated, slightly defeated. This bearing does not press out because there's two separate bearings. It's two separate bearings. So that means that the parts diagram on High Sun Parts Central was wrong. It was wrong. So this is in fact two separate bearings, separated by an inner partition. So that means I'm gonna have to order the actual bearing that I need for this and wait again for it to come in.
One eternity later.
Guys, this thing has not wanted to leave my shop. It has not wanted to leave my shop. Go to replace one thing, something else is seized. Try to get that unseized, something else is damaged. Oh my gosh, it has been crazy. Should have been super easy. Anyway, I finally got these knuckles in, and then guess what? They didn't come with the actual little ball joints. So I had to get the ball joints. Now I have the ball joints. Now I am going to be putting this back together and putting this UTV back together so I can get it out of my shop. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start putting that back on, and let's get started. looks like we got it done. I'd say that this was not too difficult, but unfortunately, the hardest part was making sure I had the right pieces and understanding what I needed before I got started. Sometimes you're not going to know and you kind of just roll with the punches, but thankfully I was able to find all the parts I needed on the different websites, whether that was the CV axle, the knuckle, the ball joint, and just some miscellaneous stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this type of content, subscribe, and see you the next time, guys. Joe does it all.